Hi, good evening. Thanks so much for having me along tonight. Team in the Commercial Hotel, thanks so much for hosting us, the KCCI and the members, Mayor Curran, and to all the other candidates as well, good luck. My name's Sheena Lindholm, as just introduced, and you probably don't know me, and there's no surprise about that, and that's why I'm here to talk to you tonight. I actually started volunteering in local government back in 2006. I was school captain at the time, and I'd stepped in to try and help the Nanango Fun Fest Festival because it was starting to fall apart. There wasn't so much popularity about it, and they needed some investment from the youth. So they asked us to come along and help out, and we took lots of feedback, we did some really great things, and we really turned it around. What happened then is I was actually awarded Junior Citizen of the Year at that time. I don't want to be throwing around accolades, but the reason I'm telling you that is because in the middle of that speech I had big dreams, and that was to become an education minister. And I was saying that at 17 years old. But what I knew is that I had to work the background to make sure that once I got to that position of influence, that I knew all of the structure underneath so that I could make the best changes possible that not only reflected what the organisation needed, but what the people needed as well. So moving on from there, there was a traineeship that come up in Nanango Shire Council. To be honest, I had a scholarship. I was going to university, and if I hadn't have done that volunteer work, I wouldn't have stepped in. But I applied for the job, and I was lucky enough to get it, and my life changed completely. And even now I can feel goosebumps going through my body, because at that point in time, I saw that local government could do so much more. And that at that time, we weren't communicating properly. And this is back in 2007 in Nanango Shire Council. I, as a person who'd lived in the area my whole life, had no idea what council did, and I had no idea what council could potentially do. So from there I set out to work as much as I could, and up through the ranks of council, right through to South Burnett Regional Council, where the last 3 years I've actually been doing all of the work behind the scenes in the day-to-day dealings of the Office of the Mayor. And that has given me really powerful insight, not only as to what the organisation has, what the organisation struggles with, in identifying where it needs to be going, but also the political insight into what needs to be done from the leadership level. I look at leadership, and there's lots of things that local government does, lots of things that local government needs to do. But from your point of view, what you need your mayor to be doing is making sure that our local government has focus, that South Burnett Regional Council has some collaborative approach in the top ranks to make sure that when each department is setting down what they're going to do for us, that they're joining together and making it the best that they can. Because more often than not, they're given lots of different focus points and expectations, and unfortunately they're delivering so much more, but I think at a smaller level. And the next part that I just wanted to touch on, and something that stemmed from when I was a trainee, is communication. And still to this day, if I went down to somebody in the street and said, "Do you know what your local government did this week for you?" you could probably answer 3 things, and all candidates have touched on it, no surprise there. But that's roads, rates and rubbish. But there's so much more that council needs to be doing in turning the organisation around. And instead of focusing internally on how to make it better and more efficient, which is something that any business should be doing anyway, we should be turning around council to make sure that it's a direct reflection of what's going on in our community and what it actually needs. And when I look at, is there a report on our community to date? There's not one that we're following. And we did this beautiful community plan back in 2012, and it's not something that we structurally look at as a council and moving forward. And that's everything that our community wanted by 2032. That's from our business leaders, that's from our community service, that's from our kids in our schools who we hope to grow up and work, live and play into the future. So that's why I'm here. I think since working in local government, I have had the greatest insight and understanding to be able to change the internal mechanics, to translate what we need as a community, and to move it forward with some focus and make sure that we get things done. I'll leave it there because I'm a believer in 2 ears open and listening, and I know you guys have some questions to ask, and that'll help isolate some features that I'm concentrating on. But just a plug, I've been quite quiet in the campaign and a surprise candidate, and I came out last. But I have a Facebook page, Sheena for Mayor, and also a website as well, where I'll be putting strategic things up there that I'll be focusing on into the future. But from a broad purpose and intent level, that's where I stand, and that's where I come from, and that's where I hope to take you into the future. So thank you.